Hello everyone, my name is Joey. I'm from the BYD Battery Box team. So for today, it's really exciting and we are pretty honored for today to be here and so talk about the BYD batteries. But just give me a few seconds to let me share my screen. Yeah, so BYD with Kranish. So as you can see, we have very solid partnership with the Kranish, and it's currently in the global market. And we have now 4 major markets, and where we have the Kranish is our great partners. So in Europe and Africa, North America, and also Australia. So really excited for the Kranish new setup in Brisbane. And for today's webinars, I will basically cover a few parts. So firstly, just a couple of slides to give you an update of the BYD companies. So not sure if you heard about the BYD before, but BYD stands for Build Your Dreams and also bring you dollars. That's the mission of us. And who is BYD? What BYD is doing? So we have more major business. The first one is the auto business. So we basically manufacture the pure electric buses and the passenger vehicles and the forklift. So all different kinds of vehicles with the BYD batteries. And the second one is electronics. So where we basically supply the small battery for the cell phone brands. So maybe you don't have the BYD brand cell phone, but there is a BYD battery inside. And then the third one is the new energy, which is where our team is focusing. And the last one is the rail transit. So this picture I put here is a new reception building. We just set up the last year. It's in the BYD global headquarters in Shenzhen, China. So if you had a chance to visit China, welcome everyone to visit the BYD, and we can show you around, give a test drive. Yeah, and the other one we are very proud to say is the face mask. So as we know, the last year 2020, the COVID-19 just happens, and then at that time, BYD is one of the largest manufacturers in China. So we took their social responsibility to manufacture the face mask. And at the moment, we are very proud to say the BYD is the world's largest face mask manufacturer, and every day maximum we can produce 100 million pieces of the face mask. So now we are still manufacture the face mask and supply to the global market. So we hope everyone stay safe and enjoy their life. Yeah, so for the BYD battery box, and just give you guys a quick overview of the premium series. So this premium series is the BYD current focus on the selling in the market. So in terms of the product, we get a high voltage range and also the low voltage range. And the high voltage range is compatible with the high voltage inverter. I'll show you later, and also the low voltage compatible with their low voltage range inverter. And there's a couple of the benefits and the features. So why you should choose the BYD batteries. And when we designed the BYD battery product, so the safety is our priority. And for our battery chemistry, we are using the lithium iron phosphate. So it's short for LFP. The reason is because if you look at the right-hand side of this picture, this is the temperature range of decomposition, which means catch fire, basically. So the green part is the LFP, the L is lithium iron phosphate, and the other one is some of the other major chemistry in the market. And you can see the green one, LFP, actually has the highest temperature range of catch fire, which obviously means the safety, is much better than the others. So LFP have the safest and behavior in terms of the cell, and not only for the cell, but also for the whole systems. So BYD battery box has been certified with all the major standards globally and locally. So globally have been certified with the CE and VD 2510, IEC, and UL. And Australia, we also certified with the CEC approved and also 5139 approved. You see, so the second one is the high reliability. So the BYD battery box has been selling in Australia and on the other market for more than 6 years, and has been installed in over 56 countries, and we have got 80,000 installations case globally. So all these numbers we put here is that we want to show you the BYD battery box is a very reliable product. So basically, when you choose the batteries, especially when you choose for the off-grid scenario, you gotta choose the reliable product. And the BYD is the perfect choice for you because has been tested with all these numbers and all the years by the market. So this is quite a reliable product for you to use. And the third one is the high flexibilities. So in terms of the battery box product, the major features is the modular design. So which obviously give you a lot of benefit. So firstly, it's flexible for a very wide range. So basically you can have the very small unit from 4 kWh battery is perfect for the entry level, and then you can scalable up to almost 1 MWh with our LVL product. And the second one is the extension during the warranty years. So over the 10 years warranty, you can extend the existing systems to the bigger systems. If the customer they have the bigger demand or they grow their families, so it's pretty easy to do the extensions and they're very flexible for the customers. And also it's flexible in the location. So the temperature range, the battery box support is from -10 to 50, and also our high voltage range and LVS is IP55, which means that you can install the battery outside. Yeah, and the last one is the high usabilities. So the BYD battery box is the only battery, but it's compatible with the range of inverters, which give you the flexibilities, and also it supports a wide range of applications. So either on-grid self-consumption or on-grid with the backup, and also off-grid. Yeah, and also in terms of the high usability, we also have the installer app. It's called the B Connect. So the B Connect app is for you to configure the systems, and you can also read the battery status like SOC, temperature, and etc. on the B Connect app. And for the PC version, we also have the PC version app. It's called the B Connect Plus. So this has more functionalities. It's like the diagnose the systems, history information reading, and the firmware update. So there's one unique feature from the battery side. As you know, when you install the whole systems, you need the battery. You also need the inverter, and there's a lot of functionalities they are coming from the inverter, and the battery is like the executive thing. And also, if you want to monitoring an end customer, they want to monitor the whole systems. They basically see everything through the inverter portal. But one unique feature from BYD side is that the battery also can support the internet connection separately. And this is highly recommended. It's not related to warranty, but it's highly recommended if you get it convenient. So you can connect the battery with the internet, and then the systems, we can diagnose the systems online remotely. So it's very easy to do the firmware update if necessary. Otherwise, you may need to take some time to do something, some troubleshootings. So I highly recommend you guys to connect the battery with the internet. Okay, so here I'll go through the product series. So again, this is the premium product lineup. We got a high voltage range and also the LV range, low voltage range. So there's a lot of people asking why we developed the high voltage battery and low voltage battery. Actually, from the battery side, there's not a big difference. But the major reason history is basically about the inverter. Previously, on the market, there's only low voltage inverter like Sunny Island, SMA, or Electronic. And then we developed a battery, the low voltage battery, to be compatible with that. But after a few couple of years, they developed a high voltage inverter, because with the same amount of the power, if they get a high voltage, the current is small, which bring the cost down. So they developed a high voltage inverter, and then we have the high voltage battery to be compatible. So basically, there's no much difference from the battery side. It just depends on your inverter choice and the customer's preference. But the whole range actually give you a lot of options for you. Our HVS, HVM, so for high voltage range, and also LVS and LVL. But for today, I'll basically focus on the high voltage range. So for high voltage range, we offer two models. So we have the HVS version and the HVM version. So HV means high voltage, and then S means small, and M means medium. And the only difference of the HVS and HVM is the module capacity. So the physical size and is the same, and also the top cover you can see is the black top cover is called the BCU, is also the same. So the major difference is the capacity, the module capacity. And for HVS, you can see you can start from minimum 5.1 kilowatt. It's very good for the entry level. If just your customer is interested with the batteries, you can offer this solution. And then you can scalable to 3 modules, 4 modules, 5 modules, and now also you can do parallel connection. And the same one with the HVM, and the HVM starts from 8.3 kilowatt battery, and then for the HVM you can scalable for single tower up to 22 kilowatt battery. And if that is not enough, we can go up to 3 towers in parallel, which has about 66 kilowatt battery. So it's quite a wide range for you to choose. And then, as I mentioned earlier, the battery box is compatible with the range of inverters. So together with the chronic offering, here you can see it's compatible with the furnace. So furnace Simul hybrid, and also the Gen 24 Simul and the Primal. And the second one is the SMA, Standard Block Storage 5.0, and also Standard Block Storage 2.5. But 2.5 is only compatible with the HVS version. And the third one is the Goodway inverter. And just some of the key parameters here. So you can see for HVS, the usable energy is from 5.1 kilowatt hours battery to 12 kilowatt hours battery, and then output power. This is the only the from DC side, from battery side. It obviously depends on the inverter. And operating range is from 200 volt to 500 volt. The dimension you can see is actually a very slim battery, and it's only 300 mils depth, and scalability is up to 3 towers in parallel. And for HVM, usable energy from 8.3 to 22.1 kilowatts battery for single tower, and then output power and also operating voltage is pretty much the same. Dimension also the same with the HVS. And the scalability also up to 3 towers in parallel. So this one is highly recommended for you guys to have a look if you are not familiar, because the battery and is the modular design. There's quite a few options like the combos, and also together with different inverters. So actually some combos is not compatible due to the technical issues. So in this inverter list and also the minimum configuration list, we call this one, there's a very clear information for which combo is compatible and which is not. So this one is highly recommended you guys have a check and to select the right models. Otherwise, if you use like some models which is not compatible with some inverters, unfortunately there's no warranty. So this is very, very important for you. And this one is available on the BYD website and also the Alps Power website. Alps Power is our local service partner. So every technical questions you can also contact Alps Power. So the major difference I put here for HVS and HVM, probably some people still got confused why we offer two options, and I just have very simple reason. So it's not conflict with each other. HVS have the smaller capacity entry level, and HVM has the bigger capacity. So basically, very easy to select. If your customer is after a small capacity, you can offer HVS. If the customer have the bigger capacity requirement, so like more than 10 kilowatts battery or three-phase house, it's better to recommend the HVM. And also with the single phase applications, we believe the HVM will be much popular. And also the cost of the HVM per kilowatt hours is a little bit cheaper than HVS. So here are some of the major features benefits. So after the presentations, I'll switch my camera, and my colleague Delian, he's gonna give you a short live demonstrations. So I'm here sitting in our showrooms. So got all the product sitting on behind of me. So just give you a quick overview. It's quite a slim battery, and it's very easy to install because it's the modular design. And firstly, basically there's no cable connection in between every modules or internal batteries. There's no cable connection, and the only cable connection is from the battery to the inverter. So here is actually a connection port from the battery to inverter, and here we got a delicate area, and in later stage I will show you how the product looks like. And then we got a simple robust screw locking systems, and also we have the LED lighting here to demonstrate the status of the battery. If the battery has some problems, and then the LED lighting will show the different light, which has the visual feedback for you. So just give you an example for you to choose how to choose the HVS and HVM. I'll just take example here with the furnace inverter. So as you probably know, furnace, they get a single phase primal and also simul for three phase. And as you can see, firstly, there are some models which is not compatible with some inverter models. So from the battery side, we can do 5.1, 7.7, and 10.2. But if you're using with the furnace, the 10.2 is not actually compatible with the Primal series. So that's the reason I highly recommend you guys download the inverter list, or we call the minimum configuration list. And also for HVM, the 8.3 is not compatible with the full range because the voltage doesn't match. So here is all available combos for you to select. And then from the power perspective, so different combo has different power output. So firstly, when you choose either you choose HVS or HVM, that depends on the capacity. You can see basically because 8.3 is not supported, so actually from smaller range you need to select HVS. If you have bigger range, you need to select HVM. And the second one is the power requirement. If the customer does require a high power output, especially during the three-phase applications, so here is a 9.0 kilowatt output. If you're using the HVS 10 with the Simul Gen 24 10, and also same one if you use the HVM, is you have to use the 22 HVM with the Simul 10. Yeah, so the two major factors to use is based on the power and the capacity. Okay, so here we got some news, some cases for you. This is with the furnace Gen 24 and BYD HVS. But this one is quite interesting because this customer they just want to have a 10 kilowatts battery, but they want to have a 9 kilowatt output. So for these two factors, 10 kilowatts battery, 9 kilowatt output, we need to give them the Gen 24 Simul 10 kilowatt, and the battery is the HVS 10 kilowatts battery, and this is the three-phase house. And then this is a single phase house. This one is the HVM 11, and yeah, it's using Gen 24's Primal. And this one you can see the battery can also do parallel. We can have up to 3 towers in parallel to have bigger systems. Okay, so I'll just have a look at our low voltage range. So get an LVL. So LVL is very suitable for some small commercial projects because each unit is 15.4 kilowatts battery, and then you can scalable up to 64. So if you calculate 64 times 15.4, that's almost 1 megawatt hours. So that's the reason I'm saying we have a very wide range applications. And the advantage of this, you can have 2 systems on top of each other to save the space. So we have done, yes, many installations with the LVL for containerized commercial projects. And this is another one for LV version. So it's called LVS. The LVS is basically from one module 4.0 kilowatts battery and up to 24 for single tower, and you can go multiple towers. So the compatible inverters here for low voltage, so SMA Sunny Island, Selectronic, SV Pro, and Goodway. Yeah, some just one installation for reference. So this has 3 LVS 16, so it's the total installation is about 48 kilowatt hours battery, and using a furnace PV inverters. Okay, so here is about some installation configuration tips for you if you install. So firstly, for high voltage HVS or HVM, please keep in mind there is a minimum capacity required. So one module is not working, and then so for HVS 6 modules is not working, and you can't mix 2 versions together for single tower. It's supported for HVM is from 3 to 8 modules. And when you do the parallel connections, so you need to make sure every tower has the same amount of the module and same voltage. Otherwise, the whole system doesn't work. And the third one is that for the whole single installations, the single job, you can't mix 2 versions HVS and HVM together. And then the second one is to download our BConnect app. This is for you to configure the systems. And every month we probably have some new functionalities. So it's highly recommend you check the latest version of the BConnect app monthly and to get the latest functionalities and the firmware. And third one is the switch on procedures of the systems. So basically you can see, firstly, if you have the circuit breaker outside, you turn on the circuit breaker firstly, and then secondly, always better to switch on the battery before the inverter. And switch off procedure is basically the opposite side. So close the inverter firstly, and then battery secondly, and the last one is the circuit breaker. And so another tips is if you guys want to extend the batteries, it's pretty simple. So basically, we have the shipping the modules from the factory. That's the SOC is about the 30%. So the simple step is that to make sure your existing systems is 30%, and then you add other modules, and then you reconfigure the systems using the BConnect. Yeah, so as I mentioned, that the configure the systems using the BConnect app, or if you want to have the backup plan B, you can have the BCP is the PC version, download the PC version. And to configure the systems is quite simple, just a few steps to select the battery models and then inverter models, on-grid or off-grid, and then ready to go. So the troubleshootings, I didn't put lots of details, but just give you guys the idea. For troubleshootings, we have the service guideline on the BYD website, and also our this is the this Power website. So this is the service guideline, and for you to do the troubleshooting, we have listed all the cases, the symptom of the system's issues, and then the solution of that issues. And we also have checklist. Before, you can always contact our service, but before you contact the service, if you can collect the information as shown here, that'll be much convenient for us to check and to resolve the issue very quickly. Okay, so the last one is the support. The support is quite important for us, and we know that you guys have very professional, but just in case that because you probably new with the product, and then there's lots of functionalities with the product. So we have the local service Power that they are very professional to support you. Any questions you have regarding the product, or any issues, warranties, claim you have for the BYD batteries, yeah, please to contact our service. So here you can see the numbers and the email. And also on the website, you can see all the handy tools, some data sheet, installation manual, and everything you need for your job. Yeah, and also we have the social media, and we've got a link in Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. So welcome everyone to follow us. And every week we got the post for the product series release, or the new inverter compatibilities, or technical tips, and also some webinars for you. Yeah, so we'll keep you posted. Okay, so basically that's pretty much for the presentations, but just we have my colleague Delian. He will give you the short live demonstrations. Yep.
So hi guys, first thanks Joey for your introduction and specific information. My name is Delian. I'm BYD Battery Box Regional Sales. So as you can see here, right behind me is the Battery Box Premium family. Almost all of them are right in here. On this side is the HVS and HVM, the high voltage family, and on this side was the low voltage family, LVS and LVL. So I'll start with a HV series. This one here, HVS and HVM. From the appearance level, as Joey has mentioned before, it's quite specific. I'll have 1 or 2 points adding here. First, it's the appearance difference between HVS and HVM. For HVS, it means small capacity. So you can see it has one mark on the module. And for the HVM, it means medium, a little bit larger. So it has 2 marks on the module level. The another thing is about its scalability. For HVS, it starts from 2 modules, can be scalable to 5 modules. And for HVM, it starts from 3, can be adding to 8. So the next thing is I'm going to give you some details for the first time you receive the box. You're going to open it and what kind of details you are going to be noted. Thanks. So that's the whole box look like when the first time you received the battery box premium series. This one on the top inside the box was our module, the battery module, and this one on the bottom is the BCU for the whole system. So the difference between the appearance for the box is for the battery inside, you will see a mark here. This mark was required from the customs. So when you read this mark on the outside of the box, you will know inside it is a battery module. Without the mark, inside it was the BCU. That's it. That's the difference. Then the other thing is when you open the box, you will find 2 documents here. First is the service guideline and checklist. I highly recommend you guys before you doing the installation to read this carefully because it included some very important details and some very helpful skills. So the other document was the minimum configuration for the whole systems. Joey has showed you how to read this document correctly. And the other thing I want to mention, if you do not follow the requirements from the minimum configuration list, your systems or products may be eventually out of our warranty. So we suggest and highly recommend you guys before you're doing the installation to read this minimum configuration list very carefully. So I'm going to remove this one here, just a moment. And then we go to the next type. It's the electrical connection. As you can see, the whole system doesn't require too much cables. First, you have to install the base and then stack the modules all together. And then the only place you need to connect the cables or wiring is the BCU. For the BCU here, it has 5 gasket here, 2 for the power cables and 3 for communication cables. That's the only place you need to doing the wiring job. So to do it first, you have to remove the 5 screws, or remove the side plate of the BCU, and then it goes to inside of the BCU. Let's have a detailed look at here. Okay, so inside the BCU, the whole side cover was removed. There were some spots you should be noticed. First is here, right, for this part. Below this 2 connection part was the communication cable connecting place between batteries. So if you have a parallel systems, you need use this part. And for the top, this one and this one here is for the communication between the battery and the inverter. Also, we have offered 2 different options for the communication connecting between the battery and the inverter. It's up to you how you feel comfortable to use these 2. They are both can be work. The others also for here we have a deep switch. It normally won't come to if you in 2 cases this part will be effective. First, you will have one tower, there were no parallel connection for the whole systems. And in most cases, the switch was on the left side. You don't have to remove a switch to the right side. It's just for some certain type of inverters, like the coastal, the middle one need to be switched to the right side. Also, and if it comes to parallel connection, the whole maximum 3 systems or 2 systems you connected in parallel, then you have to read the operating manual to look for the detailed requirements for the deep switch. That's 2 cases you will use this one. Also, for there below this we have a Ethernet connection port, and we also highly recommend you guys to doing the internet connection. Also, it comes here. We have the DC connecting cable here, the active and negative. In the middle, this one doesn't work, so you don't have to use it. So also for here, we have a safety switch. Inside, we call it clicker. When you remove the whole side cover, this clicker will be mechanically switched off. So the whole internal electric circuit was off. It's kind of a protection designing for the operators doing the cable connecting. And this one and here was for the grounding. So that's basically the whole details inside the BCU. Just one tips here: if you find something like there was no communication between the inverter and the battery, you need doing some check. First, of course, you have to check the configuration, like through the BConnect app to check whether you have put the right numbers for the towers, you choose the right inverter and the battery type. And then if that's all correct, you have to open the BCU side cover to check whether you're doing the right cable connecting. And then if that's all correct, it goes to here. You have to, let's say the communication you used first between the inverter was use this option, and then as suggests you to switch to this one here, and then to check if the problems will be solved. And also the deep switch, if this certain type of inverter like coastal, you have to switch to the right side. So that's the basic check steps. Also some more details you can find in the operating manuals and the service guideline we have put in the box. So that's the details for the inside of the BCU. Okay, so I have give you the pretty much all the information for the high voltage. Then let's go to the low voltage. This one here is the LVS low voltage small. It has a smaller capacity, and the one thing important is for the PDU for the LVS. When you're doing the cabling, the wiring, you don't have to remove the whole side plate of the battery. Just doing this, you use the cables and the plug to the port we have designed here, and then that's it. The cable connecting work. You don't have to remove this part. We optimize the designing, and also it's very easy to get it back. For the terminal for this cable, we have 3 different dimensions. The 70 was the one we have delivered, or we have designed originally on the battery, and you have 3 different options. You can purchase these different terminals at our local distributors, and also the length of the cable. It's up to you how you feel comfortable to use the different lengths of the cables. And then it's LVL, low voltage large. One thing to be noted here, it's pretty big and pretty heavy, so we use the designing here. Maximum 2 of these systems can be stacked together. If you want to stack 3, it's bad and it will cause some damage for the system structure. So that's the thing we are not allowed. You are not allowed. The installers are not allowed to do. The other thing for both LVL and LVS is they both have a BMU here. It's like a control system for the whole system. If you like, there's one battery for LVL, you will need 1 BMU, and if there's 2 or 3 or 4, even to 64 systems connecting parallel, you also only need 1 BMU to control them. And for the LVS and LVL, they share both BMU, which means this can work for him and this can work for him also. We have also the IP55 version of this product, so now it's available. So guys, that's pretty much all the live show for the products. If you have any questions, you can put on the chat box. We'll answer it. And my part was over. Thank you, Joy. Thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, thanks, Dolian, for the nice introduction. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much for today. Appreciate that. Thanks. And yeah, any questions that if you have, yes, I really appreciate your time for today. And yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Joey. Really, really good presentation and great content. Yeah, let's open the Q&A. Are there any questions?
Yep. Yeah, if you any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, yeah, if any question you have, you can contact us anytime. Yep.
Maybe let me kick it off, the Q&A session. I've got one here, and you were just standing next to the HVM. And I was just wondering, there are 6 modules on there, and it's quite tall. And you said you can upscale it to 8 modules in a single tower. So do you have to somehow wall mount it to be, to be safe that it's not collapsing?
Yes. So we have the breaker on the BCU. So BCU you can attach the wall. So to make sure that attach the wall to be safe. Yeah.
So from which height do you need to? Is it required to wall mount it?
So yeah, that's a good question. We need basically we supply this one as a standard. If there's local requirement, so yeah, we recommend for even for 2 or 3 modules, you need to attach the wall. So basically we supply that as a standard one, and we recommend for there's no small one, you don't have to do that. We recommend for all the systems installations, you need to attach the wall to make sure the systems is safe.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, but that's a very good point. So we actually, when we designed the HVM, we designed maximum 8 modules, and 8 modules that's almost 2 meters high. So yeah, so we thought about probably there weren't many installations with 8 modules, but actually when we launched the product, there's quite a few installations with 8 modules, so 2 meters high, 22 kilowatt battery. Yeah, so yeah, and
Okay,
yeah, working pretty well.
The other question I have, I mean, I really like this modular approach because it's very easy to transport, very easy to install. But how is it when it comes to the LVL? This one seems quite heavy and is quite heavy. Do you need to, or can you say that for the HVS, HVM, LVS, one person is enough to install it, and for the LVL, you definitely need 2 people?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, so the LVL is a little bit heavy, but for the others, LVS, HVS, HVM, because it's the modular design, each module is 40 kilo. Yeah, so definitely one person can handle the installation from battery side. Yeah, but obviously LVL is a bit heavy. It's more for some commercial projects. Yeah, so we recommend you use the forklift, or at least 2 person. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions? Maybe then I got a final one from my side. Regarding installation and configuration, you went through the app, and it seems all pretty straightforward to connect it, to configure it. But do you have a kind of a rough indication for a HVM? How much would an installer, how much time would an installer need to install this battery?
Sorry, I just lost you. What's the question?
The question is like in regards to installation and time for the installation configuration for a
Okay.
HVM battery. How much time does it need for an installer to install and configure the HVM battery, for example?
So for example, for the HVM installations, basically I think 2 hours. That's the, yeah, I think two hours or 1.5 hours they can finish the whole installations, because there's no much work in terms of the cable connections. You just open the box and put all the modules and the BCU on top, and that's it. And do the cable from inverter, sorry, from the battery to inverter in our separate areas, and it's quite straightforward. And after that, you're gonna use our B Connect. So that's the reason we recommend you when the installer go to the site, they download the B Connect app, and then that's gonna save some time. You don't have to download on the site. So you've already download the apps, and just a few minutes, like 3 to 5 minutes, to configure the systems, and then that's it. Yeah. So the configure is pretty simple. Just like a few steps. So battery module and then the inverter models. Yeah. So 3 to 5 minutes, and also if required, there may be a firmware update, but that's also firmware update is also in a short time. So basically, I think, yeah, conservatively, I think 1.5 hour, 2 hours. That should be enough.
Okay, understood. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries.
Any other question left? I don't think so, Joey. I think you covered all, and it was very interesting to see, and also the live demo part. Thank you so much for that. We, as Kranich, our whole sales team, myself, we are there for you. If there are any questions left regarding BYD or any other product, just get in touch with us, call us, approach us, and we will get back to you with an answer. We have the products available on stock, so if there's an immediate urgent installation coming up, just let us know. We can supply anytime. Joey, thank you so much to you and the BYD team for the support and for the presentation. And then I would like to say thank you to everyone and wish a good rest of the day, and hope to see you soon again. Bye-bye from Kranich.